And good evening. We begin with new details about a crash that left a pastor dead.
It rocked a community and has shattered two families. News 8 investigative reporter Jeff Derdarian is here now. He sat down for an intimate interview with the family of Reverend Tommy Jackson. Jeff joins us now with what the family had to say. Jeff?
Dennis and Ann, there were tears, anger, and some smiles during our conversation when the wife of Tommy Jackson and her two daughters talked about all the good they say he did in the community. And now these three women say they're fighting to get justice for the person they miss so much. For the family of Tommy Jackson, it's all still so surreal, living a nightmare that just won't end, they say.
Do you remember the last time you spoke to your dad?
The week that this happened, my dad called me every morning between 7 and 7:30 a.m. just to check in to see if how the drop-off had gone with my daughter and to say, I love you. And that's how every conversation ended with my dad. Love you.
The family says this nightmare began last July. Jackson, a beloved pastor, lawyer, teacher, community leader, and the job he loved most, being a dad. He was killed outside of his house getting the mail. Stamford police officer Zachary Lockwood hit Jackson while responding to a call. What kind of a call? Well, that is at the center of all this. Lockwood left court last week with no comment. We also asked him to be part of our story tonight. He declined. His lawyer did tell us, quote, this was an accident and there was no reckless behavior. In court, nearly 36 officers did show up to support Lockwood. The Jacksons say that was meant to intimidate them.
Disappointment, so maybe even anger.
The family's also angry because, according to the state police warrant News 8 obtained, Lockwood on that call was dispatched to respond in the least aggressive way possible. He's heard on dash cam saying he's going to code 3 to another officer, the most intense response there is. Now, Mrs. Jackson says because of that.
He had a nice Thanksgiving, maybe. We didn't. A nice Christmas. We didn't.
And for Jackson's daughter, Evan, who still goes to call her dad, but then remembers he won't be answering the phone.
No matter what the situation, how it was going to turn out, he would always be encouraging and have something positive to say, even in the worst situations.
Investigators say Lockwood tried to swerve away from Jackson, and a witness told police that Lockwood, quote, frantically tried CPR on Jackson, but it was too late.
Do you think he should still be a police officer?
No.
The warrant also says Lockwood was speeding on his way to that call, and another officer advised him to slow down. Lockwood's attorney telling us, quote, officers have discretion when responding. He did say he was going code 2 in his written statement to the state police. So where was Officer Lockwood headed to that day? According to the investigators, he was headed here, 1081 Hope Street in Stamford. There was a motor vehicle accident. Not a lot of damage, no one hurt, according to the paperwork we have. And that's why the Jackson family attorney says Lockwood was so irresponsible to be going so fast.
Because he was warned not to go a code 3. He disobeyed that warning. He went a code 3 when it was a non-injurious accident.
Has the officer apologized for what he did that day?
No, he has not apologized.
You were there that day when the accident happened.
So I heard a stomp, and I said, what is that? And I went to the door. I ran down because I saw this man on the ground, and I said, and then I saw this police car, and I said, go, 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 run, run. Somebody just hit him. Somebody just hit him.
What did he say to you, if anything?
I said, someone hit him, someone. He said, it was me, it was me.
After the accident, Dory had the grim task of going to the same mailbox that her husband did every day. But then, something changed, thanks to a man named Glenn.
Fortunately, I have this wonderful mailman, Glenn, and he brings it to my door every day because that's what he wants to do for me.
I'm with you. Don't stop fighting for what you believe is correct.
The Jacksons feel that Officer Lockwood should be terminated immediately because of his actions. He's currently on administrative leave with pay. Lockwood is due back in court next month.
Jeff, do we know anything about Officer Lockwood's time on the force?
Yeah, we do know that he was not a police officer, or hasn't been an officer for very long, and that his attorney believes that his record is clean. The attorney also told me that he feels, quote, horrible about what has happened.
All right, thanks for your report, Jeff.